Good morning, everyone. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. Slipping on my boots, stepping into them because I don't want to get any more mud in the house. I think I got socks already in these boots. That is ridiculous. Why would you do that, girl? Anyway, I got to sit down. Today we're going to, remember we pulled up all the sweet potatoes, right? Well, this is succession planting at its best. Well, one of the best. Well, maybe not. Just one of the people who are succession planting. When you harvest crops, you don't necessarily have to give your land a break. We are not farmers, we're gardeners. These are backyard gardens. If you're selling the food to the general public, well, maybe you do have to rotate crops. Well, this is a different crop anyway, because I just pulled up sweet potatoes. I know that it pulled a bunch of phosphorus out of the ground, and now I'm planting more brassicas. This is Romanesco. I have a couple of Sapporo cabbages. I have a red acre cabbage here, and I have some Swiss chard that need to go in the ground. I also have blood meal. Blood meal has nitrogen in it, and these are leaf crops. These are leafy crops for the most part. I don't have any turnips out here. I'll tell you what I do with the turnips in a moment. If this rooster don't stop, you sound like a smoker. And then because I had sweet potatoes out there, and I know that sweet potatoes are a root crop, it pulls all the phosphorus out the ground, and phosphorus helps you with your roots and your flowers. I don't need the flowers, but I need root structure. So I have bone meal here for the roots. You need to put down bone meal for the roots, even if you're putting brassicas out, and you know, there are brassicas like turnips and I believe beets that need phosphorus because they're basically they're roots and leafy crops. But I want some roots on these because the roots is what's gonna make these plants strong and make them dig into the ground and get them, excuse me, I have lip gloss on. My lips are dry. And make these plants root structure. The root structure, if you want strong roots, if you want strong plants, you got to do that. They got to dig deep. In order to do that, you got to put some bone meal down, especially after I pulled all those root crops out of there that pulled a lot of phosphorus out of the ground. I'm gonna stop talking. Let me get these socks out of my boots because I got two pair of socks in there now, one on my feet and one in the bottom of the boot. You know what? I don't know. Meet you out there, right? Just a second. You know, I gotta laugh, right? So when I'm working out there, my feet sweat. So when I finish, to sterilize my boots, I put tea bags in there. Tea bags sterilize the boots. Pull some of that moisture out of the bottom of the boot. So that's a trick of the trade, at least for me. Not everybody's feet are like mine. Everybody's different, but when I'm working out there, I sweat all over, including my feet. So I put tea bags in there after I'm done to get rid of the bacteria or some of the bacteria that's in the boot from the sweat. So that's what that was. 4 little tea bags, black tea bags. Get them at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. You get 100 or so of them, and put them in the bottom of your shoes to pull all of that bacteria and moisture out of your shoes. Just a little tidbit. So let's go out to the garden, all right? I don't need those anymore. Those go in the trash. They're one-time use. Let's go. Blood meal and bone meal. Yay! So first things first, we're gonna spread this out. Oh, no, I'm gonna wait till I get the plants because I'm gonna put this around the plant. I don't want to waste a bunch of it. This one got wet, but I'm still using it. I am still using my things. This stuff is not cheap. Not cheap. Do not throw it away if it gets wet. Just work with it like I do. Put it somewhere else. Oh, come on. Maybe if I break it and then pull it up, huh? Put this over here. So we're gonna do a line right here. Let me go and get the plants and we'll get to planting. The journey of 1,000 steps, right? There's another piece of broccoli. I mean, a piece of okra. I don't want to trip over it. Let me throw it over here where I'm not gonna be till I'm ready. And I'll meet you down here. All right, here we go again. Did I bring where's my fertilizer? There it is. So I have, I have these slips here. I'm gonna move them out of the way. So I don't necessarily want them here anymore. I'm still pulling up sweet potatoes. All right, if I see any big ones, I'm harvesting. I'm just telling y'all that right now. So I have my bag of fertilizers right here. Blood meal and bone meal. These are what I don't like to see at all. Nowhere near my crops. All right. So I'm just gonna put a big enough hole here to put my plant down. I do not like digging. No till. I don't buy worms. I try to keep the ones I have. Think it's a waste of money. So you see, I'm just taking a dusting, just a little bit. We'll put that around here, right? I'm gonna get some bone meal. Just a little bit, right? Mix that in there, right? Break this soil up a little bit. Get one of these plants. This is a Swiss chard. I'm gonna break off some of these dead leaves. No sense in this plant struggling to keep yellowing leaves alive. Get rid of that. Pull it out of the pot. This thing has been in here a while. Look at the root structure. See that? Tickle it. Move this out of the way. I don't want to get this any wetter than it already is. Tickle it just to break up the roots a little bit. Right? We want this thing to start spreading out. Cover it. Pat it down. One down. On to the next. Dig a little hole. Right? See any pests in there? Get rid of them. Just the dusting. Right there. Here's the bone meal and blood meal, both in there. I'm gonna get another one of my plants. These are all Swiss chard. Right there, see that? Even the roots are red on this bad boy. Look at that. That's interesting. Take any of the dead, dying leaves off. It's not helping the plant. And the plant will kill itself, will hurt itself trying to save these leaves that are not worth it. All right, cover that up. All right, there we go. That's two. Get these out of the way. You don't want any decay because this will bring pests, especially snails. They like stuff that's decaying. No one said that being a gardener was glamorous. I don't know if somebody told you that or made it look like that, they suspect, man. They are suspect gardeners to me. It's not glamorous. See my hands? I do the gardening here. I'm the gardener. Here we go. Do that. Put a little bit of bone meal there, not too much. Mix it in. All right. Get another one. This is an orange Swiss chard. See that? I think I got these from M.I. Gardner. Got the orange ones. Orange ones are from M.I. Gardner. And the roots, look at the roots. The roots are orange or yellow, depending on who's looking at it, but they're called orange Swiss chard. Open that hole back up. All right. Get that rotten potato, move it to the side. Let's go on to the next. And you see that there's no method to this. There's no science behind this. I just look at it and I decide where I want to plant it. It might be a foot apart. It might be a foot and a half. It just depends on what I think is the right space. And I'm not this is not scientific. This is just gardening. It's supposed to be, Mother Nature don't space nothing. I'm not putting them right on top of each other like I did those. But the reason why those are like that is because I put turnips. I threw turnip seeds down because I don't want any weeds. So I'm willing to sacrifice or reduce production in my collards because the turnips are going to grow. They're like weeds. Because I do not want to go in there and have to weed. The weed would be stealing some of the energy from the soil. So instead of giving it to a weed that I can't use, I put turnip seeds down. And I can use those. Everything I do has a reason. I have a good reason for most of the things I do in my life. Good reasons. Experience is the best teacher, and the more you do stuff, the more experience you'll get, and you'll know what to do and what not to do. Here's another Swiss chard. This looked like a Ford Island Swiss chard. Not sure. You could buy these seeds from the Dollar Tree, which a lot of them came from. And when you buy it from the Dollar Tree, they give you a mixed pack of seeds. So it's not going to be one type of Swiss chard. It's going to be any color. You get any color in that packet. That's where the red ones came from, for sure, because I didn't buy any specific, I didn't buy any red Swiss chard. Okay, let's move on down the road or down the aisle. Now, the way you see things now might not be the way you see it later, because I might come out here and throw some more turnip seeds down here because I do not like weeding. Period. Point blank, period. Do not. So I'm going to dig a little hole. Just enough so I don't, destroy many worms, if any. Take a little bit of blood meal, which is nitrogen. Take a little bone meal, which is phosphorus. Mix it in with my hand a little bit. Go on to the next one. Running out of Swiss chard, but that's okay. Here's another Swiss chard. Has some dead leaves on it. I'm just going to take those off. Take it up out of here. And I'm going to tickle the bottom to loosen up the roots. As usual, just like the rest of them. Let me do this a little bit more. Okay. Getting down to the last little bit of Swiss chard. I think I have 3 left. Yep, 3 little ones. Make sure I put my pots back in there. Okay. Let's do this right here. level this out a little bit. Let's get the next one. Little bit of fertilizer. Little bit of fertilizer. Y'all see that? It's just dusted. Just dusted. Nothing else. Just dusted. I'm taking my hand. I'm going to smooth it out a little bit. Can't crumble this soil because it's clay. I'm going to take this little plant. I'm going to fill it in. There it is. Okay, we're on to the next one. My line might not be straight, but you know what? I'm only human. All I care about is results. Results. So let's take a little bit of blood meal right here. And I'm going to sprinkle it in. A little bit of bone meal. Sprinkle that in. Take this. Pull the dead leaves off. They're not doing it any good, and they draw attention to the plant. Bad attention. Pests will start looking for it because they can smell the dead stuff. So take them off. Mix that in a little bit, right? Do that. You notice that I'm not being super careful with the fertilizer because this is not that 10-10-10 and extra strength fertilizer that burn your roots. If you're using that, you need to side dress it. I wouldn't put it anywhere near a seedling because it'll burn it up. Just saying. You don't have to listen to me. You can look it up. If you are using natural fertilizer like blood meal and bone meal, the probability of it burning up your roots is less. I'm not going to say it won't do it, but way less. Come on, stand up, honey. I want you to get the sunshine. Almost always makes plants happy. So corny. So corny. I know. All right, let me get these up. Don't leave a mess behind that I'm going to have to clean up later. Let's go on. We're almost all the way down the road. Almost all the way down. I need to put some more soil over here. Okay. Got one more Swiss chard right here. I'm going to put it right there. Right there. Dig a little hole. A dusting of blood meal. I heard someone say that blood meal and bone meal was expensive. It is expensive. I agree with you. But you don't use a whole lot of it. You don't use a handful. You just use this, a dusting. Dust it. See that? Dust. You ain't got to use a whole bunch of that stuff. You ain't supposed to use a lot of fertilizer, period. I don't know where that came from. It's a waste of money, and most of the time it does more harm than good. Or it just leaches down into the soil. Or feed something that you don't want to feed. You just want to feed your plants. You want them to be able to get some before it seeps down into the soil, because that's what it's going to do. The more it gets watered, the further down it goes. But by that time, hopefully, with this organic blood meal and bone meal, your roots have already absorbed what they need to take off. Just saying, you ain't gonna listen to me. All right, we're on to our cabbage. Yay! So I can tell by where the sun is, it's about, I'd say it's about 9:30 in the morning. Sun rises in the east and sets to the west. If you look at your shadow, sometimes you can tell what time it is. Army taught us that. If you don't have a clock, if you don't have a watch, Always check to see where the sun rises, right? If it rises in the east, you know that way is going to be north. The east is always going to be on your right hand side, and the west is always going to be on your left hand side. And it always starts on the east end. So you know if it's on your right hand side, you turn to your right hand side there. The way I see it, and the way I remembered it in the military, because I had a problem with left and right, is that East Coast and West Coast. So the East Coast is that way, the West Coast is that way, and if that's east and that's west, that's north, and back there behind me is south. That's how I got through land nav. My thinking is just different. It can't be simple. Can't be simple. So let's get this root out of the ground, right? All right then. Let's go ahead and dig that in. And we're up to our cabbage. And then guess what? Found some more sweet potatoes right here. They're looking at me. They're looking at me and laughing at me. They're laughing at me, mommy. Let me show you. Well, we're going to dig these up before because I don't want to forget them. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You see that? They're laughing at me. They're right there. Look at that. Let's go ahead and get a pitchfork and pop this ground up and see what they look like. Because they look really little, right? They might be little, but I don't know until I pop them. We're almost done with this. But I need this space to plant these. So we got to get those out. There they are. Right there. Right there. Laughing at me the whole time. Right there. All right. And I see some slips over here. They can go all the way into the other bit. All right, let's see what we got here. Might be a fluke. Yeah, it might be a fluke. Was one here, but it's small. I don't care. I'll take that. See that? Break it up a little bit. Oh, there's another one here. And I see one of my worms. Okay, that's enough. Out of the ground. Put these right here for safekeeping. I'm not digging no more. Or spade forking. I think spade forking is better. I think spade forking is better than, I'm sorry about the sun, guys, than using a shovel. Less probability to destroy your worms in the ground. People. That got hurt. It got hurt, it did. Let's get our fertilizer right here. There is natural fertilizer in here from the sweet potatoes. All right, so I dug my little hole, and yes, there's some rotten sweet potatoes here, but that's just fine. That's just fine. All right, and I found some sweet. Did I find a sweet potato? I think I did. Let me see, like the little engine that could. Use my hand. I don't think it's a good one though. Yes, it is. It's right here. It's a little one. Oh, I broke it. It's a little one, but I'm going to take it anyway. I told you it's going to be very hard for me to get all these things up, right? Look at that. It's a little itty bitty one. But That's fine. I could have left that there. All right. I wouldn't be surprised if these bad boys pop back up because it doesn't get really cold here. Not cold enough for the ground to freeze. And here goes some blood meal. I think this is my last Swiss chard right here. I got a space right there. I need to put a cabbage in. Change of plans. Let me go ahead and put this cabbage right here. And then we'll put the Swiss chard in this line. Or put a couple of cabbages there because I got room. I don't waste no space. That's water that I could be saving. I think I had something here, but no, that's a sweet potato coming up. That's fine. That's just fine with me. Dig a little hole, right? Yep, that's a sweet potato. Sweet potatoes everywhere. Thank you, God. I ain't complaining. Ain't no complaining in that voice. Don't mistake in that. Okay. So there we have one hole and we have one hole here, right? Bone meal. Just dust it. Dust it. See that? Just dusting it. Same thing with the blood meal. That's why you have this stuff for years, because you should only be using a little bit. Dust it, dust it. That one didn't get dusted enough for me. Just another pinch. That's what I'm using, a pinch. And I just mix it in a little bit. Because it's clay soil, I can't dig it in. Plus I don't want to mess with the worms. I told you that. Take this, throw it somewhere else. Don't throw it away though. All right, cabbages. So I have this one. This was I think this was one of the ones that was being attacked by those worms. And I'm gonna put that one right, take this out. Put that one right here. Break that dirt up a little bit. And put this one in. Make sure you get it in and you get all the roots covered. That's my red cabbage right there. And then I think this is one of the Sapporo. Leaning on my, yes, definitely a Sapporo. This is Sapporo. This was the second planting of Sapporo. This is when I thought they were all gonna be gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in the ground. Notice how much smaller it is? It's because it was started a couple of weeks later than the initial one. Let me do this down a little bit, right? Give it room. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna tickle the extra soil off, and then move this out the way. Don't get rid of your fertilizer. Make sure you keep that in this hole as much as possible. Then we're gonna backfill it. All right, let's pull this out. These roots. And I got one more cabbage. No. I have two more Sapporos. And these jokers get big. See, it says Sapporo Giant. What should I do? I think I'm going to put them right here. And then I'll find somewhere else to put this last Swiss chard. This could go in the regular garden around the gazebo. That's what I'm going to do. Because I got room. I got room here. And this area is already being watered. All right. Mix this in. And of course, digging. And I think I just saw, did I see a sweet potato? Or did I just see a root? That's a root. Okay. So we already put some fertilizer in here. Here are the Sapporo Giants, right? They got good roots. Look at that. They were starting to be root bound. There's two of them in here. Got to shake that stuff off. Normally I capture the soil, but I ain't in the mood today to be. It's not a lot of soil anyway. That's my rationalization. So there's two right here, right? I just pulled them apart. This one's gonna go right here. Remember these jokers, you saw the pictures of the Sapporo giant. There's a reason why they call that, because they get huge. So we're gonna cover this one up. We already put fertilizer in this hole, so we didn't have to worry about it. Love it when a plan comes together, because I know that you're gonna be big, baby. Let's go on to this hole right here. Move it back. Get this little leaf out of the way, huh? All right. So we already have a hole here from where we were digging for that potato. And we're gonna put some bone meal. I gotta scrape this bone meal because it got wet. There's the bone meal, right? Just the dusting. I got it all over my hand, my clay-filled hands. And then we're gonna put some blood meal in there. Just dust it, right? Put that right there where you can see it, where I won't step on it. Because I have been known to do stuff like that. All right. Put it up far enough where you can see it. It ain't in a depression. A depression, as in land nav depression. All right. And let's get this up. And there we go. Something's in here that's sharp. Don't want that nowhere next to my Sapporo giant. So we got our Sapporo giants in. I got one more plant right here. And Sapporo giants get big, so I'm not going to put that anywhere near them. I'm looking to see if I can put it somewhere else. Let's just put it where I said I was going to put it, in the other garden. Let's go. Just put that little tag there. See that? Not that I'm going to be able to see it eventually, because these roosters, they doing their thing. For sure, for sure. Poor chickens. They don't want nothing to do with them. They ain't got no choice, though. They're being assaulted. All right. Let me get my fertilizer. We still have our Romanesco. Our Romanesco, they say it's broccoli. Isn't it? They say it's Romanesco broccoli, but it's not a broccoli. Sometimes they try to mix us up. They try to play us. Romanesco broccoli is actually a green cauliflower to me. That's what it looked like. But who am I? Who am I? I didn't make up the name. I ain't the first one to do this. All right. So where am I gonna put it? Those are cabbages. Let me turn you around so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So I want to put it somewhere that I'm already watering. I don't want to. I stopped right here. You know why? Because this is where that thing stops. Stops right here. Reaches right here. And it goes all along here. There got to be a spot somewhere. I don't want to overcrowd it because it's already overcrowded. Some of this stuff is going to come out. Like when the cabbages form heads, they're going to come out. When these, what are these? Brussels sprouts? I think they're Brussels sprouts. I think they're Brussels sprouts. Yeah, these right here, they're going to come out. Some of the stuff is cut and come again, but stuff like cabbage, it comes out. This is cut and come again, and that's what is it, bok choy? Those, I already realized what those are. Those are tree collards. They're perennials. Let me see. This one, this is my one of my eggplant. You see that? There they are. So let's see. Where can I put it? I could move my thyme and put one there, but the eggplant is shading everything out. Let's see here. There's a pepper plant back here, right there. Jalapeno pepper, or I don't know, maybe it's not a jalapeno because they're really small. See that? I'll show you. They're really small. I don't know if they're jalapeno or not. I just call them that. I planted a whole bunch of peppers, different kinds. How about, here's another jalapeno plant. How about right here next to alyssum? There's a sweet alyssum right there. Or no, that's another plant right there. It's gonna get big. I think I'm gonna plant it right there. That's one. Then I have to find a place for the Romanesco. I might have to go back over here and start another line because I have some more cauliflower that I planted because cauliflower cannot take the heat. It'll bolt on you. So let's get this one. And I guess these flies smell the blood meal and bone meal. This is what we did right here. All the way down the line. Let me turn around so y'all can see out of the sun. How about that? So there's a new line right there. It's a whole new world. Yeah, on from one thing to the next. Yeah, Jamaica, that's how you do it. That's how everybody should do it. Keep on going if you can. Is that a good sweet potato that I just threw down on the ground? Or are you deceiving me? No, it is a good one. Waste not, want not. Is that a good one too? Yesterday I got tired and I didn't pick up all my stuff. Get that too. Put it in my bin. Put it in a cup. Those are dessert sweet potatoes right there. All right. I don't waste. Try not to. Try to use everything. Because it ain't easy out here. Ain't. All right. Either right here or right there. I said I was going to plant it next to alyssum, so that's what I'm going to do. Right there. Right there. Just checking out the area to make sure that I'm not going to affect my alyssums or my zinnias that I planted here. Okay, it's going to go right here. I forgot my fertilizer, guys. You know, I got to go back. Something was planted here, by the way. This soil is too loose. Something didn't make it. All right, let me go and get the fertilizer, and then we'll put this thing right here, Swiss chard, in there. I'm gonna put this right here, bone meal, and blood meal. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. There we go. Mix it in a little bit. Hold it up right there. There we are, we have it in. Good luck, baby. Best of luck, sweetie. All right. I gave you the opportunity. Now you make me proud. You hear me? Make me proud. Let's go. Well, guess what, y'all? I ran out of steam. Now, I could go ahead and plant these Romanesco in this pot, but I'm not going to. It's too hot out here. I'm going to take these dead leaves off. It's too hot out here for these right here. And they're going to bolt. Most likely they'll still bolt on me. I know it's almost Thanksgiving. Y'all probably see this after Thanksgiving, though. But it's still warm here in Texas. 79 degrees yesterday. Now the temperature at nighttime is dipping lower, but in the daytime, it's hot. So I come out here early in the morning or late in the evening. Taking all these off. Let me see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. I think I only have 7. Should I up pot them, or should I just go ahead and leave them in here and put them in the ground? That is the question. They are definitely ready to go on the ground. I don't like putting stuff in the ground when I'm tired, because then I make mistakes or I get frustrated and they don't do well. I've already pulled off the dead leaves. I think I'm going to put this back in the house until tomorrow, because there's always tomorrow. Well, there's not always tomorrow for everybody, but hopefully God will bless me enough to wake me up tomorrow so I can do this. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So the Romanesco is ready, but I cannot do anymore. I don't want to do anymore, and I don't want to be one of those people out in the garden grueling. And that's how you start disliking doing a hobby. It's a hobby for me. It's my favorite thing to do. It's always been my favorite thing to do. I didn't do it for years, but it's always been. This is where I started, agriculture and horticulture. Animals and plants, living things. You know, I had someone take me out to a chemical plant, and I didn't like it at all. Did not. I knew that they didn't know that I'm a nature person. And all that steel and all those gases coming out. And I was thinking to myself the whole time I was going through the tour, I was thinking, what are they releasing into the air? That's all I could think about. So what kind of contamination is this? Because it was everything in those plants is metal. There's no life, none. I didn't see not one plant in there. On the outskirts there were plants, but in that facility, not one plant. Scary. I was like, is this what it's gonna come to? It remind me of the Thunder Zone. You know, when they had the people who were just trying to survive, and everything was desolate, and there was no plant forms and nothing. They were just dirty, dusty, and everything was gone. That's what it reminded me of. Scary. I don't like that stuff. They thought that I did. No, I just wanted to get out of there. I should have told them no, because I knew I didn't like that stuff. I knew it. Didn't like it at all. I know it's necessary, and that's where we get some of our fuels from. Like propane is a byproduct of plants like that. It's the gas that comes off. So it's, you're reusing the chemicals that will go up in the air. That's what propane comes from. Some of those places. But I wasn't impressed. I was upset. I didn't want to be there. Instead of being impressed, I was the exact opposite. I was not impressed. It reminded me of, where was I? Afghanistan? No, even in the minefields they had plants. Even in Bagram on the perimeter road, there was plants on the outskirts. You better not go out there. There was mines out there. But there was life form. I mean, we saw all kind of broken down vehicles. It looked like a war zone out there, but there were plants. Not at one of those not at one of those facilities though. Not one of them chemical plants here that I went to. Not one plant. I don't know if they all like that, but that one was scary. Scary. All right, we're gonna put this there. Maybe they put down chemicals so they don't have to go out there and pay anybody to clean it up. Maybe that's what happened. They put down herbicide to just get rid of everything. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. A war zone. Nothing was growing. All right, so we're gonna wait on this Romanesco, and I'll see you on the next one. We'll plant this, and what else do I have? I have some more plants in the house that I have to put in the ground. Yeah, believe it or not. I keep on planting because last year I planted one set of cabbage and one set of cauliflower, and then I ran out. I had to savor the cauliflower and savor the cabbages because I mean, that was it. There was no succession planning last year. And I just determined this year it's not going to happen to me. I'm going to do better. Every year you should try to do better or do something different. That's how you grow. Talked enough. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being with me, and I will see you on the next one, all right? Bye.